Last fall, investigators named a suspect in Morgan's disappearance for the first time ever. They believe Billy Jack Links abducted her on that night, June 1995. A major development that's renewed interest in the case. What happens next? Detectives share an update and show us how DNA technology advances have not only helped in Morgan's case, but could soon help solve other cold cases in Arkansas.
This is where we store the leads in Morgan's case.
How many files would you say are in here?
Thousands.
An entire room inside of the Alma Police Department is dedicated to the 1995 kidnapping of 6-year-old Morgan Nick. Investigators have went through every single one of these,
Yes.
following them up.
Yes.
That's a lot of work and a lot of hours.
Yes.
It took more than 29 years for a suspect to be named in Morgan's disappearance.
For the first time that I'm aware of in this case, I am calling Billy Jack Links a suspect in Morgan's abduction. Police questioned Links on August 31st, 1995. He denied any knowledge of Morgan's abduction and at that time appeared to be truthful. Investigators at that time moved on.
Through a renewed investigation, police circled back to Billy Jack Links.
Around 2019, retired Captain Brett Hartley went back to the beginning of the case just to review, and he came upon the Billy Jack Links lead again.
Police located a truck that Links owned in 1995. It matched the description of a truck rendering that police put out shortly after Morgan was kidnapped. They tracked it down to the current owner.
We worked with the FBI evidence response team and it was processed.
They got inside every crevice, vacuumed up dirt, particles, and hair, and sent it off to an FBI crime lab, but without any luck. There was useful evidence, though they just needed more advanced testing. Morgan's mother, Colleen Nick, who has fought every day for the last 30 years to find answers, found a way to help police.
I called our detective and said, "Have you ever heard of Othram Labs?" And he said, "No." So I sent him the article and I said, "Read this. Can we talk to Othram Labs?" And he said, "Yes, let's try it." They did what nobody could do.
Othram Labs genetically linked a hair found in the truck to the Nick family, and police determined no other person within that family besides Morgan could have ever been inside.
We've developed forensic-grade genome sequencing, which is a sensitive technology that allows us to build DNA profiles from very challenging evidence. In situations where there is even no root on the hair, it's possible to build DNA profiles.
Links died in 2000 while serving a prison sentence.
A couple months after Morgan was abducted from Alma, there was a case in Van Buren where Billy Jack Links was arrested for attempting to abduct a young girl from near the Sonic in Van Buren.
And what I have to say about Billy Jack Links is that he stole Morgan from me. He stole her from her dad. He stole her from Logan and Taryn. But he didn't see that he could never win. Because our love for Morgan, her memory and her voice outlasted his life.
Morgan's case is far from over.
We're still looking into Billy Jack Links' background. We've been interviewing family members, acquaintances.
The advancement of DNA technology in Morgan's case brings hope to others across Arkansas.
On average, about every year we get a report of as many as 30,000 missing children.
The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children supports law enforcement efforts, and they're honing in on the latest DNA technology in hopes of solving cases.
We have over 650 unidentified human remains cases that are reported to us that are believed to be children. We're seeing that forensic genealogy has really been helping, and we're utilizing that also, working with law enforcement to offer resources.
Forensic genealogy can help police identify suspects. With what investigators already know about a case, they can narrow down a suspect through their family members, similar to Morgan's case.
This is our rapid hit ID instrument, and what this instrument does is it allows us to put a swab in.
At the Arkansas State Crime Lab in Little Rock, 2 new pieces of DNA technology could help solve some of the state's oldest cold cases.
It's got all of the chemicals needed to extract the DNA from that swab.
Normally, it would take days to get results.
And it gives us a DNA profile within about 90 minutes.
Rapid DNA machines will soon be tested in Faulkner and Saline counties before being released to law enforcement across Arkansas.
Our pilot agencies are going to utilize those in their booking stations.
Arkansas State Police are also working on bringing in the latest software that could extract DNA profiles from samples that current testing can't.
But also be able to help us revisit some of our cold cases to see what DNA data that we have generated from then, and if there's anything new we can do with it with this mixture interpretation software.
Game-changing technology for investigators trying to solve cases like Morgan's. As her mom reflects on the new developments,
It felt like losing Morgan all over again.
she has hope that one day Morgan will come home.
And yet knowing that we're beginning to have answers, that we know who took her, that could lead us to where she is, that's what we ultimately want as a family.
Arkansas State Police expect to have the new technology rolled out at the crime lab in a couple of years. That's what's next in Arkansas's DNA testing. But what's next in Morgan's case? Police still have many unanswered questions. As they interview family and friends of Billy Jack Links, they ask if you know anything about his life at the time. Call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. That's 1-800-THE-LOST. No details are too small.